Live from NBC5's control room. He never leaves. Never leaves during football season unless he's out covering football. Here's our friend Mike Berman. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
Good morning. And by NBC5's control room, you mean my bedroom?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes, that's exactly right. And what are you wearing?
Oh, that's...
Yes, moving on.
Oh, okay. All right. As long as you got something on. All right, so let's just do a quick roundup of the weekend in the NFL. It was a kickers weekend. Everything came down to the final play. I'm not like a lot of people. I like a good kicker. And a good kicker never proved to be more crucial than this weekend, right?
Kickers were big. Felt like every time I looked up, someone was knocking down a game-winning field goal. Absolutely. In fact, the Bears won by a field goal. Not necessarily on a game-winning field goal, but it was a 3-point margin. And, yeah, hey, you got to have a good kicker. We always see in college games ending and a bad missed field goal crushes a team. And in the NFL, we see 66-yarder Justin Tucker years ago.
Yep.
So these guys can basically put it anywhere, tee it up, and they'll make it.
It's crazy. I've talked to Kevin Butler about this. 50-yarders. 50-yarders, which were a complete anomaly in, as recent as the mid-'90s to even 2000 and beyond. Now it's like 50-yarders. Yeah, you better make it.
Yeah.
You want your job, you better make it
They're
from
making
50.
them 59, 50.
It's crazy.
57, yeah.
50 yards is a chip shot now.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, there was a kicker, and it was an orange team. He missed. It was close, and he missed a point after, which then I think the team eventually won.
Cleveland missed an extra point, then he got the game-winning field goal.
Right.
Houston, the same thing over the weekend. I'll tell you a game that surprised me, Mike Berman, NBC5. The 49ers, which have just been suck for the 3 weeks prior to their bye week, and they hook up with Jacksonville in Jacksonville that's just owned it. Apparently, Jacksonville has to stay out of the country. San Francisco 34, Jacksonville 3.
Yeah, Jacksonville, they need Shad Khan to somehow get all of their games scheduled in London. Then they'll be 17-0.
So that was a surprise. Meanwhile, Bears get Detroit this week. All I can tell you, kids, let me just play a highlight from yesterday. Thank God we got rid of David Montgomery.
They start to believe like they're starting to, anything could happen.
The way they're playing, it's showtime as Montgomery gets into the secondary. He's inside the 40. He's got a blocker up ahead. David Montgomery's going the distance. Showtime for the Lions.
Thank God we got rid of him, huh?
Oh, I love it. That made me giggle. Yeah, I mean, he's good. He's good. But I don't disagree with Ryan Pohl's ultimate decision to not spend a few more bucks on a running back for a second contract. Go with the guys who are cheaper. That's my philosophy. That's pretty much the philosophy across the NFL. I happen to agree with it. But that's neither here nor there. We are talking about a Lions team that is really potent offensively. Second overall in total offense. They score, 27 points a game. So dangerous. Montgomery, Gibbs, those guys on the ground, St. Brown, Laporta, Reynolds, those guys catching it, and Jared Goff throwing it. Bears defense was really, really good against a really, really bad Panthers team. Let's see what they got on Sunday at Ford Field.
Yeah.
Well, the Lions, really, their power ranking is 5. The Bears don't even show up. But I was excited to watch, Deontay Foreman. I thought he was exciting to watch.
You're excited to watch him. You should listen to him.
With the Foreman. And he's in. Deontay Foreman takes it in for the touchdown. Well, they were set up nicely after the punt. They go 38 yards. It's a 4-yard touchdown. 9 plays, and Chicago takes the lead. 16.
Deontay Foreman. You were saying?
9 plays, 38 yards. What a drive for the Bears. What a drive. Oh, that was some football game Thursday night, guys. I don't really remember what happened. I just remember sitting in the press box and needing coffee to stay awake.
Well, I mean, Al Michaels didn't really rip on the Bears too much, so it must have been an okay game.
He was calling his agent and yelling at him. He didn't have time to think about it.
What am I doing here?
Well, I thought all I saw on social media was they were just talking about Jason Kelsey being on for half the game.
Yeah, they did talk a lot about that.
So here's
but apparently he went to Wiener Circle in a small T-shirt, and there was a segment on that. I don't know. I need to watch it.
This is what football's turning into. Football's turning into, and this used to be a Monday Night Football thing, all the way back to Cosell days. They'd find a celebrity somewhere in the crowd, and they'd bring them up to the booth for a while.
Yeah.
So now it's turning into that. You know,
and
what's on the field's not enough. You ADD-addled people, including me, you go, oh, this is an interesting twist. Let's see this. No, show the football.
People Magazine meets the NFL. But my question is really, is Justin coming back? We need Justin for Sunday.
Well, first, I will answer that, Jane. But, Steve, you know what? These Thursday night games, they need entertainment.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right.
They are so bad.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, we're neither the Bears nor the Panthers are good, so that contributed to it. But also on these short weeks, these players, you know, they do it, the NFL, because they want more games on national TV as many nights as they can. I get it. They're maximizing the dollars there, but the games on short weeks are bad. The product's bad. So they do need entertainment. Now, Jane, is Fields coming back? Don't know. Did that help? Is that good?
That seems like a Bears season.
When are you gonna know?
Nothing's clear.
I think I would say, reading the tea leaves, I think there's a good chance that he's back this weekend. He was ripping it pretty good at practice last Wednesday, and then Matt Eberflus said if that Panthers game was Sunday, there's a good chance Fields would have played. So I think let's cross our fingers. Hopefully he's back on the field after a good week of practice on Sunday. And again, we said it last week, the Tyson Bagent story is great, but we need to move past this and let's see what the Bears have in Fields down the stretch to help them make their decision about him in the future.
Last thing, Denver-Buffalo tonight. Buffalo's got to win. That's a must-win game. I'll tell you why. They're right on the heels of Miami. They could be within a half game of Miami. Buffalo was supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. They're not even a contender for the AFC East at this point unless they win tonight. Denver seems a little bit resurgent. They love their running backs. They're going to hand the ball off about 112 times tonight. Denver-Buffalo, who you got?
I got the Bills.
Yeah, me too.
The Bills. I think it's a touchdown spread. I don't know if they cover, but they're going to win.
Hey, we need you before we finish this segment to help us determine who the creepiest booth announcer is in the NFL.
We need.
Is it the Westwood One guy from Cumulus? We own Westwood One. Is it our Westwood One guy, or is it the ESPN Sports Center guy? Mike Berman will vote in just a moment with the rest of us. Stand by. Who's the creepiest booth announcer? Hey, Mike, before we get to the creepiest announcer in the NFL, and again, not the play-by-play guys, these are the booth announcers, Jane had a question about her new favorite name player.
Michael, was it?
Montez Sweat.
Montez Sweat. He's new, and he was after the quarterback a lot, so I thought he played well, right? We need him.
He did play well. He had, I believe it was 8 QB pressures, and he'd better play well because the Bears, they sent a second-round pick to the Commanders for him and then gave him almost $100 million. So we like to see that return on investment.
Yeah, we call that ROI.
Yeah.
Oh, no, ROI.
Yeah. ROI.
Yeah.
Return on investment would be return on investment.
ROAI.
Sorry, Mike, my brain is a little off today as opposed to the other days where it's running at 30%. All right, so here's the deal. This came up because I was driving home from the city last night, and the Westwood One guy was on. Now, Cumulus owns Westwood One. I'm not banging on Westwood One. I'm not banging on this guy. I don't know this guy.
Of course not.
But the guy we speak of is David Lee, and he's got a very distinct announcer voice, as does Chris Kelly, who's the booth announcer for SportsCenter. And by booth announcer, I mean the guy you don't see on camera. He's the announcer that says, when we come back, and we're back. Mm-hmm. That guy. Mm-hmm. And Chris Kelly is their guy. I'm going to play you both of those, but first a little background. None of you are elderly enough to remember Ernie Anderson. Ernie Anderson was the original Monday Night Football announcer. He was the voice of ABC television.
This is the man. This is the machine. This will be the year of the Street Hawk, beginning Friday, January 4th on ABC.
That's the guy. When voices really, really matter. He'd be the guy to go, Monday Night Football reminds you of brand new MacGyver this week. That guy. Star Trek, for instance.
Don't miss the all-new exciting episodes of Star Trek, The Next Generation. The legend lives on.
All right, so that's
He sounds a little happy.
That's your background, okay?
Yeah.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
Can I just say that that ABC guy, the old ABC guy, makes me sound like I haven't hit puberty yet.
Yeah, same here, dude. Same here. Same
those
here.
pipes are deep.
Yeah.
And he's got a famous son, Ernie Anderson, the late Ernie Anderson. His son is Paul Thomas Anderson, the director. Famous for a couple reasons. Maya Rudolph and he have been together for years. And Paul Thomas Anderson's director of Tom Magnolia. What else?
Yeah, Magnolia, Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights, yeah.
There you go.
A ton of stuff.
And so there you go. That's the foundation.
Okay.
Then came a guy named Don LaFontaine, also the late Don LaFontaine. He was the In a World movie guy.
When the top 10 hitmen face off in a last man standing, winner-take-all contest being bet on by some of the world's richest men, the only rule is to stay alive. And for Johnny Dane, it means finding out that getting out of the business doesn't mean getting out of the game. Number one with a bullet, guaranteed to put your adrenaline in the crosshairs.
He sounds fun, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do you see him when the grandkids come over? Hey, Timmy, come over here and sit on my lap. And there's a comedian named Pablo Francisco who does a great knockoff of that guy.
One man, one decision, one desire.
In a world. In a world. All right, so that sets the stage for the creep-off here. Okay, so here's the creep-off.
Okay.
Chris Kelly is the booth announcer for SportsCenter. You know the guy I'm talking about, Mike Berman?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the guy that the Steve Cochran Show.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got it. Yeah.
Brought to you by Depends.
And
Whatever. Yeah.
and he sounds like, when he talks, he sounds like he's in pain. He sounds like an old fella in pain.
Like he forgot to take his meds.
Yeah, so here's a little bit of Chris Kelly.
This is SportsCenter. You're watching SportsCenter. Welcome back to SportsCenter.
He's just missing the lower level there. There's something missing.
Sounds like he's recovering from COVID, right?
Well, I remember years ago, SportsCenter brought him in the studio, and they actually showed him, and he looked like he smoked, about a carton of cigarettes a day.
Well, and that brings us to Wisconsin's own David Lee. This is the Westwood One guy.
I grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Proud to be representing Westwood One. Your home for sports.
So that's just a taste of this.
In a world without fear, anything is possible. Fight the fear. Face the danger.
I mean, a guy working it hard.
He sounds like he's going to bite a crocodile's
He
eyelid.
smoked all of North Carolina.
Yeah.
So in the creep off, who's got the creepier voice? That's the question. Who's got the creepier voice? Yeah, well, who's your vote?
Westwood One guy. He's really freaking me out.
Yeah. I think you're right, because the Chris Kelly guy sounds like your grandpa with a sore throat.
But he could sound creepier because he sounds like your grandpa with a sore throat.
What do you think?
I'm going to go ESPN guy. Because
You're going Kelly?
Yeah, because I like the Westwood One guy. It's so deep and gravelly and you want to swim around in it. You're in it. With the other guy, I don't really believe him.
Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, the SportsCenter guy.
SportsCenter guy, really? Yeah. Joey?
You're asking me what I think is creepier?
Yeah, creepier. David Lee or Chris Kelly?
I'm not seeing creepy. I'm hearing cool. I like the bassy tones.
So who's cooler then for you?
David Lee,
Yeah.
when he was all,
Jacked up.
that real guttural tone. But Chris Kelly's voice just gets me hyped up to watch highlights.
Oh.
It gets me hyped up to try to remember if I took my Lipitor.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, I think the Westwood One guy is cooler.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Tom?
I'm going to go Chris Kelly with a special nod to Ernie Anderson.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to break the tie, and I'm going to give you David Lee. I think it's a David Lee. I mean, listen.
In a world without fear,
That guy.
It's
How'd you
great, though.
How'd
He's
you like
not
to
creepy.
wake up
It's
in
great.
your room in the middle of the night and hear that?
Hit him with the golf club.
All right, Mike Berman, thanks for hanging with us for this very important second segment.